Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about a couple of topics. The first one, where some family members are getting the green card sooner than other. Why is this happening and what can you do about it? The second topic will cover Title 42. What does that mean to the immigration system? We'll clarify some doubts that people had. We'll also talk about some RFEs that people are getting, and particularly in one case, why it might be a good news for you. And then I'm going to remind you about the investment opportunities that you may have that I had covered in my previous videos, but it might be a good reminder for most of you. So watch this video until the end because you don't want to miss any topic, and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now before we get started, if you like the channel and the content of it, and if you would like to support the channel, do check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links. If you use those links, you will get a little bit of a commission, and that will also help the channel. And while you are down there, do hit the like button because that will get you into the next giveaway. Now the weather here in the New England is changing rapidly from spring to summer, and I'm definitely taking a lot of advantage of it. Yesterday I went for a stroll with my family and it was quite a long stroll. It was beautiful out there with the color of the landscaping and the color of the trees changing with the flowers and the bloom. I took a couple of pictures and here they are. And this also shows how much did I walk. I wish I could continue this for the rest of the summer, but we'll see. I like the weather in New England because we have 4 distinct seasons, and going from one season to another, it completely changes the surrounding and you feel as if you are gone to a different place altogether. Every day I get up and I feel blessed that I live in such a great country. Now with that said, let's start with our first topic. Now this has been happening for a very long time. Before the pandemic, typically we would see that if you have a family of 4 or 5 or 6 and they have applied for adjustment of status, mostly everybody would either get an interview notice or get their green cards at the same time. But since pandemic, something has changed, and what we are seeing more and more and often is that some family members are getting their green cards sooner than other. In the vast majority of the situations, the primary applicants gets their green card sooner and then the derivative applications get them later. And I have covered this in multiple videos, but sometimes this has to do with your background check, or sometimes it has also to do with your missing documentation. But mostly if you have submitted all the documentation together, there is no other reason for these green cards to come at different stages. But we have seen that lately. Now what I'm speculating is either there is a mismanagement of the file where some applications from the same family members go to a different visa officer than the primary applicant. In that scenario, we can understand that those two individual visa officers are adjudicating the cases at their different times. Some people have been contacting me that their derivatives or dependents have got their green card sooner and the primary applicant hasn't got it yet. So that has happened in a couple of instances. Now this is an interesting scenario, but in one particular instance the dates were actually retrogress. So one of the family members actually got their green card in the mail, and then subsequently they got a letter from the USCIS that we issued the green card by mistake, so please send it back. Now you have an option to send it back, or regardless, if you don't, they will still cancel your green card. Now what happens in this scenario is the primary applicant hasn't still got their green card, so the primary applicant is still in the adjustment of status and the dependent will go back into the adjustment of status. Now if you are in this situation, do make sure that you contact the USCIS and talk to them whether the family member's green card is still valid, and if it's not valid, can they put them back into the adjustment of status. This is important because once your green card gets revoked, if it was issued by mistake, then you want to go back into the adjustment of status stage like you never received the green card, so that in future when the dates become current again, you will be issued a green card. So take that step if you are in such situation where one of your family members got their green card and was subsequently rescinded. You want to check the status of the receipt number of that family applicant online and also contact USCIS to put that family member back into the adjustment of status. This will ensure that finally when the dates come around and become current for you and your main applicant, all of you can get your green card at the same time. Now the next topic I wanted to cover is green cards without interviews. So now in the past, before pandemic, we had seen that up to 20% of employment based categories were getting the green cards. Now since the pandemic was done and USCIS is dealing with incredible number of backlog, we are seeing a trend where USCIS is issuing out green cards without having any interviews. So in the past couple of months, I haven't seen anybody in the employment based category getting an interview notice. Now if you in your particular case have gone through an interview for employment based category, put down in the comment section below, or if you are willing, share me your story how you got your green card with an interview, because interview now more and more is becoming a thing of the past, which is good news for people because you have gone through the grueling and the long wait and the processing time, and you don't want another interview at the end of the process just to delay it even further. So it's a good news that USCIS is adjudicating these employment based cases more and more without any interviews. Now another topic about RFEs. Typically USCIS gives out the RFEs for missing documents or things like that, but lately people have been getting RFEs for medicals, and vast majority of them are getting their green card right after the RFE was responded to. So if you get an RFE for medicals, it's actually a good sign that USCIS is actually picking up your application and they are about to adjudicate it. Now we have seen instances where when your date has retrogressed, USCIS has still reached out to you to ask you for your medicals. Now it could be a good thing or a bad thing. The good thing is USCIS was ready to issue you a green card, but they saw that your previously submitted medical was expired, so they are asking you for that now, and they will adjudicate the case as long as your date is current. In some instances, as I have covered it in my previous video, cases have been adjudicated even without your date being current, and USCIS has justified it saying that they had pulled a visa number for you while it was current last year, even if it's not current now. So all in all, my message is, if you get an RFE for a medical, it's basically a good news. Respond to that and hope that you get your green card right away. Now let's talk about Title 42. I have been getting some questions on Title 42 and asking me, if that happens, how will it impact employment based processing? Now let me give you my thoughts. Now first let's look at what is Title 42. Now Title 42 was enacted by Trump administration in March of 2020. Now this Title 42 has allowed US to expel migrants, over 2.7 million of them, from the southern border, according to the government figures. Now what happened was, due to pandemic, Trump administration said that because there is a threat of that virus coming into our country because of this migration, let's implement a remain in Mexico policy. So where migrants will not be allowed to enter the US while their cases are pending. Now once their case is approved, then they can come into the United States, but before that they have to stay outside of the United States. Now Biden administration had continued with this policy up until now. They had threatened to discontinue it long time back. There have been a lot of pushback to keep the policy in place, but now this Title 42 is set to end on May 11th. Unless there is any last minute development, because the national COVID-19 public health emergency is now expiring, eliminating one of the legal underpinnings of this policy. Now the question you may ask is, how does it impact my case, or how will it impact the processing of the backlog in EB category? Now my answer to this is, it should not impact the EB category at all. So here what we are talking about is at the situation at the border. Now there is a different workforce who works at the southern border. They are the border officials, they are the border security force. They are not the people who USCIS hires to process the case in their service centers. And service center is where your employment based case gets approved, and it's also not people from the consulates abroad. So neither the people from the service centers or neither from the consulates are being pulled to go to the southern border to work with this influx of migrants that are expected as soon as the Title 42 expires. So coming back to your question, I don't think there will be any impact to the processing times of the employment based cases. Now between tomorrow and the 11th, there could be other things happening. This Title 42 or ending of Title 42 was challenged numerous times by several southern states, and there was a hold on it. So unless something like that happens again, I think this Title 42 will end and we will see influx of migrants coming into the US to seek the asylum. Put down your thoughts in the comment section below what you think about this policy ending and how it will impact the immigration system in the United States. I would like to hear about it. Now another point, and this is very important, that I wanted to cover is lately we have been seeing USCIS issuing RFEs, especially for medicals, through emails. Now never in my last 20 years of experience have I seen USCIS contact either the attorney or the applicant through emails. It's always through an envelope in the mail. That's how you get any correspondence from USCIS. Now if you get the online status update, that you can subscribe through an email, but other than that there was no official communication from the USCIS to a candidate through email. It was always through mail. But lately we have seen that USCIS reaches out to the lawyers or also to the beneficiary or the applicant through emails. Now you have to be very careful here because there are a lot of spammers out there. They pretend to be the USCIS and they ask you to submit some documentation, and in some cases even asking you to pay some amount to facilitate your case. And some people have reached out to me that they have seen some emails like that from the spammers. Now you have to be very careful in separating the real USCIS email than the spammers. Always check the email address. If it looks funny, it has to look official. It has to look something @uscis.gov. .gov typically means that it is coming from a government agency. And you also need to watch for the clues in the email, such as the title, such as the logo, the font, what type of language that they are using, what type of links are there in the email. Those are the things that you have to carefully watch. You can also hover over the links and see where that link goes without even clicking on it. So do your due diligence to separate out USCIS email from the spammer emails or scam emails. Unfortunately, USCIS is desperate to reduce the backlog, and in doing so they are sending out emails. And in the past I have also seen USCIS officials calling individuals to ask for the medicals. So it is up to you, the candidate, to know who you are talking to or who you are responding to in an email. So I just thought I would point that out because it is very important. Now the last topic I wanted to cover is a lot of people are getting their green cards and reaching out to me regarding the investment opportunities. Some people say that I want to retire early. Now that you have got a green card, you have a lot of things that you can do in this land of opportunity and make this an American dream. You can certainly do that. I have made a special video on what all you can do as a multiple source of income. Check out that video if you haven't already watched it. I will put that link on the screen somewhere here. But one thing that I can definitely tell you is that your pure job, one job, unless you are at the C-suite level or a CEO level, that's not going to be enough for you to retire early. If you are just depending on your one job, that will probably not get you to retire early. You will need multiple sources of income. That's just my personal opinion. Now what else can you do? You have non-traditional investment opportunities such as Masterworks. You can check that link in the description below. It can give you yields in the non-traditional assets such as artwork that you have never been able to invest otherwise. So through the link in my description, you'll be able to get access to such investment. Also, if you are thinking about investing in stock, options or crypto, check this out. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you Webull. Webull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. Webull 9 was released with a brand new home and market page, asset page, and economic calendar. Also, Webull Cash Management was launched with 5.8% API with no fees attached and no minimum balance and unlimited withdrawals. This is amazing. This coming May, new Webull USA users can still enjoy 5.8% APY and get up to 12 free stocks when making an initial deposit of any amount. Each is valued between $3 and $3,000. Feel free to take advantage of this. Join through my link and you will get those free stocks. Let's move on to our next topic. Also, savings accounts nowadays are giving a lot of interest rate. Since Fed has increased the interest rates in the last 15 months, it has impacted the 10-year and 20-year bond yield, and that directly impacts the interest rate that you pay for your mortgage as well as the interest that you get on your deposits. So a lot of financial firms are giving you high interest rate and you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. If you want more ideas, do reach out to me via Calendly or through Patreon, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. do hit the like button on this video because I am still doing those giveaways of the wallets if you haven't already done so. If you like the content of this video and want to subscribe, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.